Hey there, Squirrel Army. How's it going? We're here to discuss the new Atraxa Grand Unifier. You can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing. So, when Atraxa enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library for each type, i.e., artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, etc. You can put one of those into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it really gives me the new 5-color Niv Mizzet kind of vibes. This is kind of cool that they've finally given us another 4-color commander. It is in the same colors as old Atraxa. It still has Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. It is now a 7/7, but it is also 7 mana. So, that's there, I guess. That's a little bit of a hurdle to overcome. Certainly when we're thinking about this as being our commander or being in the 99, and I would think that this is going to find its way into being the commander of a lot more decks than it's going to be finding its way into being in the 99 of a lot more decks, because again, it's going to be tough to find space to put this in the 99 of any other deck. For the most part, it does good things for the most part. It draws you a whole bunch of cards, essentially one of each type, or one of each type that you reveal in your top 10. So it's just one of those things that it does something good. But the thing is, what you probably want to do with this is try to abuse it as much as possible. So this seems like a very good blink commander. And mainly you will be blinking your commander, I suppose, but like you want to blink other things to keep getting their enter the battlefield effects triggers. Actually, we were just talking about the new Elishnorn, which would be incredibly insane for this deck. Just doubling its ETB triggers, you're just going to draw a heck of a lot from that. You might have to discard from it, but hey, you've got really good filtering, so you really know what you really want. So yeah, it's certainly very powerful. Maybe you also want to play some sort of graveyard-ish sort of stuff to, just in case you have to discard a whole lot of stuff. But it's certainly a nice late-game card draw effect. Sometimes you might whiff on getting a few of the types or whatnot. So it does encourage you to build your deck in a certain way with enough of each different type or similarly numbered amounts of each type to try to hit them all, or at least most of the really good ones, as much as possible. So I would certainly love to build a deck with this. I think a lot of people want to build a deck with this because this seems like a bonkers card to sort of build around with and to do stuff with. It just, screams, I am probably going to be the best card from this set, bar almost none. So it seems very good, and it's just one of those things that, unfortunately or fortunately in some ways, it's just going to be the face of this set in a way for EDH in this regard. There's not going to be anything that can compete with it, which is good and bad in lots of ways. It means that this card is going to be somewhat at least sought after. I do think that it is a lower power level commander because it's 7 mana, so I don't see this breaking into CEDH anytime soon. And the effect on it isn't that amazing, and it's a one-off, so yeah, I don't really see it being that amazing in those formats, but hey, I could always be wrong, I can always be wrong, but hey, you could certainly build it to be powerful, but whether that's actually, translates to being this thing is doing the thing, or you're just like, in 4 colors, and it's, the thing that's in your command zone, and if you get to it at some point, hey, cool, like, whatever. Some mass card draw there and whatnot, and I might cast it again, who knows, because it might be well worth it still, even if I do with maybe on a couple of things. So it's certainly got a lot of potential, because, again, like, you do have to run a lot of each different type, so you would have to have enough artifacts and enchantments in this deck, and enough of the other types in this deck to make it hit as many times as possible, or try to hit as many times as possible, but also to make it do its thing. So you've got to find the things that actually are artifacts, like Panharmonicon or whatnot, or are creatures that would work well with it, or, those blink style things that would work well with it, so that you can keep doing the thing and funneling through your deck. It's sort of hard to figure out a very specific win con with this commander, perhaps, but, like, it's a 7/7, so you just hit people a couple of times and they're dead. So that's not that bad and not that hard. Plus, lifelink really keeps you in the game when you've got 7 power and 7 toughness plus vigilance. And that's the one thing that I don't like about Atraxa, is the vigilance, flying, and lifelink sort of aspect of it. It's just like, wow, you can just sit back and you just absorb life from whenever anyone attacks you. So it's really hard to attack into it, because, again, when they attack, they're not tapped out, so you can never really profitably attack into them. So it's just one of those things that you really got to get rid of it, and whatnot, so that you can attack into them more profitably. So, yeah, this is certainly, going to have those certain things about this when you find it in your more medium power games and whatnot, but certainly it has a lot of power to it. But yeah, guys, you guys can always let me know what you guys think, and let me know. Request as much as you can to want to see this deck, because I certainly will do it if people ask. Otherwise, I don't really know if people want to see it just by people clicking the video and saying, oh, well, we watched it, that's cool, but I don't know whether you actually want to see it. I just thought you're here for the, discussion review of this card. So it's easier to know if you actually say, hey, we want to see it. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I hope you'll join me in the next one.